Bohemian Rhapsody is a 2018 biographical musical drama film directed by Bryan Singer, from the screenplay by Anthony McCarten and produced by Graham King and Queen manager Jim Beach. The film tells the story of the life of Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of the British rock band Queen, from the formation of the band in 1970 up to their 1985 Live Aid performance at the original Wembley Stadium. The film stars Rami Malek as Mercury, with Lucy Boynton, Gwilym Lee, Ben Hardy, Joe Mazzello, Aidan Gillen, Tom Hollander and Mike Myers in supporting roles. Queen members Brian May and Roger Taylor also served as consultants on the film. A British-American venture, the film was produced by Regency Enterprises, GK Films, and the Queen Films, with 20th Century Fox serving as distributor. Bohemian Rhapsody was announced in 2010, with Sacha Baron Cohen set to play Mercury. In July 2013, Baron Cohen left the project due to creative differences. Allegedly, he had wanted to create a gritty, R-rated tell-all focused on Mercury, while the band hoped for a more PG-rated film about the band. May and Roger Taylor suggested that Baron Cohen was too well known for his comedian and prankster type of films, and that his presence on the film would be too distracting. In March 2016, Baron Cohen spoke about the misunderstandings with Queen about the subject and the events of the film, in particular whether the story ought to continue past Mercury's 1991 death. The project languished in development hell for several years before Malek was cast in November of 2016. Singer served as director through most of the principal photography, which began in London in September 2017, but was fired in December 2017 due to frequent absences and clashing with the cast and crew. Singer's absence was reportedly due to a personal health matter concerning Brian and his family. With under 3 weeks left on the shoot, Singer requested a filming hiatus as his mother was extremely ill. Other sources, however, claimed that Malek and the crew had grown tired of Singer's behaviour, who was reportedly arriving late to set and clashing with Malek. Tom Hollander briefly quit the film over issues with Singer, but was convinced to return. Dexter Fletcher, who was originally set to direct the film in early development, was hired to complete the film. Singer retained the sole director credit as per Directors Guild of America guidelines, while Fletcher received an executive producer credit. Filming concluded in January 2018. The film was released in the United Kingdom on 24th of October 2018 and the United States on the 2nd of November 2018. The film received praise for its musical sequences and Malek's performances, while the editing, Singer's direction and McCarten's screenplay, particularly the portrayal of Mercury's sexuality and the lives of other band members, received criticism. The film also contains a number of historical inaccuracies. It nonetheless was well received by audiences and became a major box office success, grossing over $910 million worldwide on a production budget of about $50 million, becoming the sixth highest grossing film of 2018 worldwide and setting the all-time box office record for biopics and drama series. Bohemian Rhapsody received numerous accolades, including leading 4 wins at the 91st Academy Awards for Best Actor for Malek, Best Film Editing, Best Sound Editing, and Best Sound Mixing. It was also nominated for Best Picture. The film won Best Motion Picture Drama at the 76th Golden Globe Awards and was nominated for the Producers Guild of America Award for Best Theatrical Motion Picture and the BAFTA Award for Best British Film, while Malek won the Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild, and BAFTA, all for Best Actor. Now, for me, Bohemian Rhapsody is a handful of fantastic moments, and the music is just wonderful, and it reminded me how much I loved Queen music. And also that a sadness came over me, reminding me that I'll never be able to get to see the once great Freddie Mercury perform live on stage. But as an in-depth look of a beloved band, it scrapes the surface rather, and doesn't really go into depth of the story behind this great man and performer. Now, this is often the argument with biopic films, the old argument of truth versus fiction. At the end of the day, if you want a real depiction of this man's life, you need to go and watch a documentary or read a book. This, after all, is just an interpretation of his life. In saying that, though, when so many liberties are taken in depicting this man's life, well, it just goes a bit too far for my liking. At the end of the day, Freddie's story is a fantastic, fascinating story, and I believe that if this film had portrayed him in a more true light, I think it would have done him justice. This film glosses over so much of his life, places things in the wrong order, and barely touches on some of the more controversial, if you will, aspects of his life. For more on that, please view my video on the historical inaccuracies in Bohemian Rhapsody. Instead, here we have a safe, competent, decidedly non-scandalous biopic. It treats the life of Freddie Mercury with cautious affection, happy to play within the rules within depicting a man who did anything but. The legend and the fable are always prioritized over the truth, and even when the truth was surely far more interesting, a succession of pre-digested cliches are thrown at you rather than what really happened. The film struggles with telling the story of this R-rated rock star in a PG-13 setting, and it really leaves you feeling something essential and elemental is missing from the movie. The film consciously tries to position a gay man at its center while strategically disengaging with the gay part as much as it can. flitting briefly over his emotional and sexual experiences and then fixating on the platonic relationship with his ex-girlfriend instead. For me, this film treats Freddie's life, his sexual romantic identity, his loneliness, his reckless adventure in the gay leather clubs with kid gloves, and it's almost that the film doesn't tell major lies. It just doesn't feel like it really wants to tell the real story either. In saying all of that though, Rami Malek delivers a commanding performance in what could have not been an easy role to take on. For me, it is he who makes this movie worth anything, from his poise and his movements to the way he captures the very essence of Freddie Mercury. Now yes, of course, he couldn't sing like Freddie Mercury. No one can. In fact, they had to get a guy by the name of Mark Martel to do the quieter songs, as it were, in the film. But for me, in so many other aspects, he oozes pure Mercury. And you can see the role meant a lot to him as he plays it with plenty of fire and passion. And he fully deserved his Best Actor win at the Oscars. The post-production special effects have done their job, and the Live Aid scenes are so convincingly epic, and by far the best part of the movie. If not for Malek and the wonderful Queen music, well, this film would really rather be uninspiring. For it really is a film-stealing, possessed performance by Rami Malek, who pouts and struts and quips as Mercury, turning the rest of the cast into, well, bit-part players. Now, some people have compared this film to, say, the original release of the song Bohemian Rhapsody, because, of course, that song was so misunderstood, too long, too loud, and just never would work. Of course, now, today, it is widely regarded as one of the greatest songs of all time. Alas, though, this film will not go down like that. If not for Rami's performance and some fantastic Queen music, this film would really be just forgettable. People love Queen music and people adore Freddie Mercury, and I hope one day they will make a film that truly pays homage to this fantastic man, arguably one of the greatest performers of our time, warts and all. If you love Queen music, then this one is great for the ears. Rami is superb, but the film leaves you with something more to be desired, and this really isn't a true biopic of the real genius that was Freddie Mercury. Bohemian Rhapsody gets a 7 out of 10.